Thanks a lot, Lou. Yeah, I was blaming the audience on the corona thing, so anyway. So again, it's a great privilege and actually a very big honor for me always to represent Kinross at this CERBA conference. I've done it a number of years. And if I say it's a privilege, as I go through my presentation in the deck and what we've managed to achieve in the last couple of years in Russia, which is a little bit of a look back, it's a privilege to have been part of that process. It's also a great honor to be able to lead the team in what we're going to do forward in the next couple of years, because we have some exciting stuff. The last couple of years that I've been here, we haven't always been able to project some sort of longevity or movement forward, but now we certainly have a different story to tell. Of course, our cautionary statements that are pretty standard. So this year, we are celebrating our 25th anniversary in Russia. We had a couple of projects in the past, and we have two operating mines right now, Dvoyno and Kupol, which each one of those has gone from success to success. And then, as you can see on the slide at the bottom, the new talking point, Chulbatkan, which is our new development project that we acquired on the 16th of January this year, formally. So, lots of opportunity, and we have had a great success record. And as the largest foreign investor in Russia, we've had the ability to do things that maybe some others have struggled to do. And I think it's all based on the attitude and the resilience of the team that we have, and some of the foundations set up by my former friend, former colleague, Mr. Nomovsky. So yeah, again, it's a little bit of a rear view look, but we've had some great successes. We've constructed mines in 3 years, and that is really a token to some of the negative publicity around the bureaucracy that exists within Russia. And we say, we think that anywhere else in the world you would be challenged to construct and permit and do all the right things for a mine within 3 years. We've done it 3 times. So a great success record, and it's also a credit to our relationships and working with the authorities rather than trying to work against them. Over the years, billions of dollars in investments. We've done a number of different projects. We're producing at Kupol for a steady state, maybe about 8 years now at 4,500 tons a day. On February the 22nd, we poured our 7th millionth ounce of gold through the Kupol mill, meaning that we've done over 60 million ounces of silver as well, which is quite significant. So we believe a great track record and a good run in Chukotka as well. From a health and safety point of view, really health and safety, I've often thought that legacies are a little bit of a thing that you don't work towards building, but if there's any legacy that we'd like to leave is that we've done some really good work in protecting our people, in changing the way we think about the process of protecting our people. On the technology side, we were the first mining operation in the world to try super skin technology in cold environments. And trust me, it was incredibly difficult, but the success that we got from that has been amazing. Taking an open pit automated recording system and putting it underground and modifying it to our purposes, that just speaks to the ingenuity and the technical savvy of our teams. And then partnering with other people like Caterpillar on our driver safety systems. We, as some of you know, we transport containers 400 kilometers a year on a yearly basis from Pevek all the way to Kupol. And along with those things comes fleet management with drivers and safety issues that can be quite extensive. And last year, not to throw out statistics, but we did over 6 million kilometers without a single incident. Now, I challenge you to do that on a normal highway with no weather-related issues, no whiteouts, no darkness for 24 hours, those kinds of things. So extremely good success. And then, as you can see on the far right, that small thing is using immersive technologies. with the philosophy of putting as many hours into training as what we do into practice. So, you know, typically we, in the past, our industry would train somebody for a couple of hours and then send them out into the field for a year and then hope that they'll be safe. We're trying to reverse that trend and use the sports analogy of the number of hours that a tennis player practices before they play. Right? So adding that to our team. Our environmental track record really speaks for itself. We've been in the top 3 leaders on the World Wildlife ranking within Russia for the last couple of years, much to the chagrin of some of the other people, but we've really had to step up our game as well, because once you win it once, then you're the target. You know, there's no body ahead of you, but there's a whole lot of people behind you chasing you for those standards. So to keep that up. In 2018, we started with a water processing plant. We working towards the longevity of Kupol and continuing to be in the region and taking account of the communities in the area. So the top photo on the left is a number of community people that go through our environmental training programs to the extent that our communities measure us. So it's not a question of we giving out numbers and statistics that we then have to convince people to believe. Our communities are measuring our environmental standards in safety when it comes to water and all of these other things, which is great for us. The Kupol Foundation has been a major success story for us. Established a number of years ago, we've now recommitted to supporting the Kupol Foundation. It's a tripartite type group. It's a very independent thing, and it's really about building a sustainable entity that when the mine or when the industrial entity is no longer there, those processes continue. And it's not just a charity type community building situation. It's something that becomes self-sustainable for the communities to sustain their own projects. Just a little bit about last year. 2019 was an exceptional year for us. Kupol and Devono delivered on all metrics from a safety point of view, of course, and then also production. We increased our grade. We delivered the lowest cost in the portfolio within Kinross. We added 405,000 ounces, which is extending the mine life of Kupol by yet another year. And then, of course, in 2020, our exploration program will focus on upgrading even more resources and doing some more grassroots exploration within the 130-kilometer radius of Kupol. I love this slide because it really does show, if you look at the 2008 number, Kupol started with a 5.6 million ounce reserve, and by 2015 that was gone. And we've added a number of ounces year on year. And so while the blue bar on the right is down to 1.9 million ounces of reserve and resource still, we continue to add and we continue to extend the life of that mine. And I remember arriving and at the time being told this mine has a 7-year life, and now we have a 5-year life after 10 years. So I was hoping to go on pension when it finished, but it's not finishing, so I'll keep on, I'll stick around. Okay. So it's great what we've been able to achieve in that region. And this year we are really committed to our exploration program in that Kupol and Devono and the Russia region has nearly 50% of the whole of Kinross's budget for exploration. So a real commitment from the organization into the Russia team and into the Russia longevity. So the new girl on the block, I guess, the big new project that everybody's talking about, Chulbatkan, a lot of interest, of course, and a lot of work to do. So this year alone, we're expecting to do about 55,000 meters of drilling. We've got a lot of major focus around drilling and integrating this project into our team so that it's done the Kinross way and the Kinross Russia way. Again, as I mentioned, a large amount of exploration budget for this particular area, as well, and a lot of focus on getting this one done. So, you know, Kinross, I'm proud to be part of a team that's really committed into putting this thing into a go, and it extends the life of the project. It extends our commitment into Russia for a number of years to come. And if we can add a few more years to Kupol, and we can add a few more years to this project, then it will really be a foundation for us. And there's a few of us on the quite optimistic side that feels like this is going to be the new flagship, so we'll keep pushing on. So yeah, again, just to summarize, over the last 25 years, what we've been able to achieve is we have a strong commitment to health and safety. And I think a judgment of that is the amount of people who come to see what we do, how we do things, and how we've managed to change culture when it comes to health and safety and protecting our people. And I recently met a young employee and asked him why he likes to work for Kinross. And he was a new employee, told me the story that, I'm not really sure I want to work here. So I said, well, nobody's forcing you to work here. He said, oh yes, my wife is forcing me to work here because you guys are much safer. So it was a real testament to us, and I was very proud of that. And hopefully over time we'll convince him that it's a good idea as well to be part of our team. Diversity and inclusion, massive focus for us. We've always maintained a strong effort into diversity, not only from a gender diversity point of view, but also we operate in different communities. And different communities with different, I guess, semantics, if you want, or different requirements. And so we've got to take care of those and get a good understanding of that. Lots of focus. And community relations forms part of that piece as well. And then, of course, environmental stewardship. We're going to make sure that we maintain the highest standards at all time. We're going to continue to learn from others, and we're going to continue to teach others too. So it's great, and like I said at the beginning of my presentation, an absolute privilege to be part of this team. We see it as not only me, but our team sees it as a privilege to be part of this, not a right, and we have a lot of fun doing it as well. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Claude. I've already told Claude the question that I had, so if you don't mind, we'll lead with that because he has to catch an airplane. And the question is, Chulbatkan, from what I've read, is an attractive potential project, but while I sat for 9 years in the Kinross Moscow office, we saw lots of projects. And without getting into details, what specifically made Chulbatkan the most attractive and prospective deal that you've come across since the acquisition of Vainoy 9 years ago?
It's a very good question, Lou, because we spend a lot of time due diligencing a lot of projects. And I think every project is really put through the ringer and through the test. The price we're going to pay for it is obviously something that you have. The upside potential is probably the biggest piece of the puzzle. And as you know, it's like buying and selling a house. You know, the seller wants more and the buyer wants to pay less. And you want to look at the opportunities and the optimism that you may have for, you know, I can add a garage, I can do this, I can make it more attractive, I can make this, increase the value. So we diligence a lot. I think what it came down to with Chulbatkan is we spent 16 months due diligencing that project in secret, if you will, and drilling it, doing other things, and really getting our confidence level up. So to the point where we felt we could do it. Another one is that Kinross has a reputation of being very good at low-grade heap leach type deposits, and once we saw that as an opportunity, we knew that we could do things that maybe others and other competitors couldn't do, and that's what made it attractive.
Thanks very much. Maybe one question from the audience before Claude has to leave us.
Yes?
Okay, Nathan, go ahead.
Just, what's the next Chulbatkan? Do you have other potential targets? Are you without naming names? I know that certainly must be, but you're always looking to expand, right? Is there another potential project that we might hear about in a year or 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, Lou hit it on the head when he said, what have you been doing for 9 years between Devoino and Chilbatkan, right? And so I'll say it in a couple of ways. One is, didn't terminate the due diligence teams that are looking at projects. So the same group that found Chilbatkan and worked on getting it onto the corporate radar and the maps, they're still there. They're still working and looking at a number of different things. And there's literally hundreds of things that we look at, and we get people approaching us, of course, as well. So we will continue to look at the best opportunity. I think we start off with our base, where we're comfortable, Chukotka and Magaran, and now Khabarovsk as well. We're getting much more comfortable working in that territory. And then the wider scope would be the Russian Far East. Beyond that scope, it would be a different corporate entity that would deal with that. But for the Russian Far East, we are very focused on continuing to deliver value by finding the right project. And so we are looking very strongly. And like I said, we get approached as well. And then we diligence it and we go through it. But I think part of the success that we've been able to achieve is that we're not going to overpay, and we're also not going to, we're going to be a little bit more conservative about the success potential of the project. And we have the luxury to do that with deposits like Kupol, Devoino, and now the next one. So, great.
Thank you very much, Claude.
Well, thank you very much.
Fly safely.